This week, we're talking about something near and dear to my heart, and that is that done is better than perfect. I'll talk to you about that after the intro. See you there. So what's the problem with perfection? I'm going to tell it to you straight. Nothing is perfect. Perfection's an illusion. What does that mean, though? We strive for perfection, a concept called scope creep. This is something I've noticed a lot in my own game development, and as well as other things that I do. And that is simply that every time I get close to being ready to publish something, I come up with another idea. And that idea leads to another idea. And then that one leads to another one. And I never get to release my game or my thing because I always have to do something new. With Zeroed, I set out and I promised myself that I would not let scope creep dictate the release of the game. I was very specific from the start. I said, this is the game I want to create. These are the features I want this game to have. And this is the game I'm going to make. And then if anything else came up as a feature or as a addition to that initial gameplay mechanic, I would write it down in a notes app just so I would have it and I wouldn't lose it, the idea. But I would write it down in a notes app. And then I would, every now and then I would go back to it and say, all right, how important is this? Is this game breaking essential? Or is this something that I can push to version 2, version 3 or whatever, right? If it's something that's not essential to the current gameplay and the original design of that game, I did not implement it. I left it in the notes app. It's currently still there. It may show up in a future version of Zeroed. It may not. The original game was designed and I stuck to that original scope of the game. I didn't chase perfection. I came up with a plan and I stuck to it. The other thing I think that a lot of people struggle with is fear of rejection. Now, I did a whole video on that. I'll link to it down below, up above, wherever. In general, and what I can say is if you're not perfect, you're afraid that you're going to get more criticism. You're further from the truth with that thinking. Every game, no matter whether it's a solo developer in their bedroom making a game at 2 a.m. because that's the only time that they have available to them, or a AAA game with hundreds of developers making a game, they all have bugs. They all have problems, and nothing is perfect. No matter how much money you put into something, it will always find a way to have an issue. What you need to realize is that you will always be afraid to publish, especially your first time. You will always be afraid. Even after that first time, every time I push publish on a YouTube video, I get a little bit of anxiety. Are people going to hate it? Are people not going to like this video? By the way, if you do like this video, click that like button down below. I love to see that. What I'm trying to get across is that this is not just the concept of perfection. This is trying to train our minds into learning more about what it means to be done, what it means to actually publish a video or publish a game. What does that mean to you? And how can we achieve that goal? So I think ultimately it comes down to you have to understand that perfection's an illusion. That's the fundamental way to start this conversation. And I hope that I've provided some insight into how perfection can manifest itself, right? It's not just the idea of having no bugs or having perfect art. It's also the idea of you will inevitably get bored with what you're trying to create and add new features. And you're thinking that because that new feature isn't there, it's not perfect yet. I need this feature, I need that feature to make this perfect. Perfection will always require more stuff. Learn to take away from the ideas that you have and limit them. Learn to filter down and really understand what you're trying to create and create the simplest form of that. Put it out there and then get feedback. Learn from those experiences. And the next time you go to create, the next time you go to make something, you will have the experience of that first project under your belt, and you'll understand more about what it means to be done instead of perfect. I hope that I've inspired at least one person to take the game that they currently have and publish it. Tidy up the loose ends, any loose ends that exist, and publish it. Because in the end, published is better than perfect. And with that, we'll see you next week with another hopefully inspiring video.